Testing, testing, is this thing working? Okay. Testing, testing, is this thing working? Perfecto! Alright, this is just a test, and so far, let's turn him down because he gets on your wick after a bit. So far, we are doing alright. We're doing alright, aren't we? Hey Andy, don't get excited, mate. This is not in any way, level, shape or form on a par with what you would be churning out. I'm just literally having a little playing with OBS, trying to get some stuff up and running, and I've been at this for an hour and finally got something going. So I've ordered a new mic. Actually, I've ordered a Yeti, which will arrive tomorrow. I don't know that it's going to be massively different to this one, but we'll see. And I'm quite keen to get some lighting sorted as well. At the moment, there's this huge window which is providing all the light, and yeah, it's all lovely and natural, but I think I want to darken the room, put some light in behind, take a tip from you, Andy, I think, and yeah, see how that looks. So that could be pretty cool. Something to do. Right, so let's have a little look. I am going to be doing some live streaming with Stadia Mania Lee at some point, maybe even later today. See how things go. You might notice as I play there's a little bit of jitter, and actually I think I've been seeing this a lot just recently. I think this is the whole reduced bandwidth issue that we've been seeing generally since CV era, because it's going to be a whole new world without a shadow of a doubt.
Friendly control point nearby.
Boom shaka. So yeah, generally I'm seeing get out of it. Ooh, get out of it. Generally I'm seeing a little bit of stutter across most games, or certainly the ones that are that's rendered him useless. Certainly the ones that are open world, multiple database access, I guess. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, so I don't know. I'm hoping that's just a temporary thing, but there's a heck of a lot of people online at the moment. It's just the way it is. Some things will never change. Saturday morning I can't help but sing. It's the weekend. Stadia Rokks is rocking it. I've come up with a few good ideas recently, or I said so myself, for potential shows that I might do. One of them, which came to me while I was talking to my very good friend Chase, Stadia Talk, is to, when I can get back on the road and all this is kind of relaxed, I love the idea of doing a driving discussion show around Stadia, and I'm going to call it Rock on a Roll. It's all about the name. I've got others. How many do you want? But half the secret really is coming up with stuff that's different. Everybody does, everybody does what everybody does, truthfully. And to a degree, that's understandable because, formulas work typically. And if your objective is to build an audience or career, then clearly doing what others do, mentoring it's called, in success education. So doing what others do successfully is a good thing. But I want to do different stuff, whether it's successful or not. So my idea is to come up with different shows based around obviously gaming and Stadia at this moment in time. Everybody's saying that at the moment. Hedging bets. Let's explore why would I think at the moment. Well, if, as I have been saying, comes to pass, and that Google's objective is to appeal to people that aren't seasoned gamers, as they call them, non-gamers, then I think we'll see a huge influx of independent titles, which I think aren't going to appeal to a lot of people. And I therefore suspect that a lot of people that are serious content gaming providers are likely to move along to something that gives them a bit more edge. Just a thought, that's all. My channel, the Stadia Rokks channel, has always been aimed at the casual gamer. So for me, it actually is purely on brand. I mean, that's exactly what I set Stadia Rokks up for, or who I set it up for, I should say. So for me, that's kind of to be expected. I'm not surprised, and it's not a big issue. So the only reason that I would do anything different is, if there was a tear in the space-time continuum, and Stadia was no more. That ain't happening. I mean, there's no question of that. I suspect there will be multiple changes in the business plan, particularly when others enter the fray. But I can't see Google giving up on this for, probably the rest of my lifetime, quite frankly. I've got to that age now where I start measuring things instead of saying, they're going to be doing this for the next 20 or 30 years. I now sort of think, oh, hang on a minute, I'll be 70, I'll be 80, okay, they will be doing this for the rest of my lifetime. So yeah, I think that's the thing. So, getting back to the main point I was making, I think that therefore, if the main audience are people that just want to kind of jump in and jump out, and in other parts of their life they consume content via Netflix or cable, satellite, or whatever, then providing gaming content to them in a format that they're comfortable with makes a heap of sense. So I'm looking to create some proper shows. I've even got an idea for a game show at the moment, and by that I mean a quiz show, and which is hatching nicely. Came to me while I was talking with Stadia Mania the other night. In fact, he came up with a name. I have to give him complete and utter dibs to that. And the thing is that's how I love to do my thinking, bouncing ideas off of people. That's how I do it at work as well. So that's why I really enjoy having those kinds of conversations with people, with good people that have got great minds and creative minds, and this community is absolutely full of those. So who knows? That's a plan, and it will largely depend on time, how things pan out in the world in general in the coming months, because that, to be honest with you, is going to depend. That's going to give a big steer as to how much time I've got to do anything, and how things develop in the market, full stop. And if my theories come to pass. So all good. In the meantime, I'm loving what I'm doing. Stadia Rokks takes way too much time to put together. It's obvious now because I'm starting to lag in getting it out. Typically by today I will have the video version out. I've not even started yet on the audio podcast. I know exactly what content I want in it. Actually, one of the reasons that I've held off is because I've got this. I've got a new mic coming tomorrow, a Yeti, and I'm hoping. I mean, there's nothing hugely wrong with this one, to be honest with you, but it's industry standard, and I'm sort of trying to build a little studio up. And the key thing is there's no point in recording the audio and then doing half of it with one mic and half with another, because potentially you're going to notice it. And I try to avoid things like that within the show itself. I want it to be a fairly smooth experience. So yeah, and in the meantime, I'm being invited on to other people's shows, which I absolutely love. I love doing roundtable stuff, being guests and things. I watched the new Stadia Initiative last night. That was, well, actually I didn't. Full confession, I forgot it was on. And even worse than that, Brian's YouTube reminder popped up in my notifications, and I completely misread it. So I missed it. I watched it this morning, and I topped it up because, again, I didn't realise that the guys at Glory of Stadia were doing a show last night. So totally ballsed up on both fronts there. So I watched them both this morning, back to back. Before coming out and playing with this, so that was great. I love the round table stuff, and both shows are excellent. I really enjoyed them both. So yeah, being guests on those kinds of shows is really great fun. So yeah, I'm quite keen to do kind of guest spots, not regular stuff, just pop in for a few weeks maybe, or a couple of slots and then disappear off again. Keeps it fresh for everybody that way. So yeah, it's all good. It's all good. But definitely the casual, the show, sincerely as well. I'm not being cynical in saying this, or in terms of defining the audience for my work. But everyone has to have an angle, right? And I'm determined not to just do the same as everybody else. So coming up with things like quiz shows and sort of stuff, kind of carpool karaoke without the carpool or the karaoke, all that kind of malarkey. Who knows? There's opportunities floating around as well, and which I'm really interested in exploring. So yeah, it's all good. Now then, what are we doing? Hey Charles, how are you, bro? Sorry, I'm just testing kind of streaming out really, as opposed to being super diligent and checking the chat and stuff. So yeah, apologies for not spotting you in there, mate. But no, I'm just chewing the breeze and talking about my channel really, and my plans for the future, and how things may or may not go, depending upon what happens with the future of Stadia. And yeah, it's singing along occasionally because it's Saturday, and I think everybody should sing on a Saturday. And I'm paying absolutely no attention to the game. This is the thing, isn't it? With Andy, you know this. This is the thing with live streaming. Hey, Clive. And Clive knows this for sure. Being able to play a game and talk and pay attention to chat requires a brain far younger and more agile than mine. And I pride myself on, so far, no, I'm totally lost here. I pride myself on the fact that so far I've not found anybody older than me in this community. And that is so funny. And I genuinely don't give a stuff about age and ego and all that malarkey. It's genuinely not my thing. I don't care at all. The fact that I was around in World War II, I think that's a bonus. Gives me a historical context. So this is, yeah, I'm thinking about adding streaming into the mix, but the key thing for you guys that have probably not didn't hear my earlier waffle, is that I still firmly believe, and I think Clive anyway satisfies this market, that the people most likely to be future Stadia consumers will be people that aren't traditional gaming consumers. So, you know, they're probably even new to the whole content process, the whole YouTube content consumption process. They're probably not used to watching people streaming games, and in you know, as it is for most people, when you first hear the concept of people that go on then, Clive. I know you're not, mate. I know you're not older than me because I've heard you mention your age, and I'm absolutely convinced that we're close, but I just beat you. I just have a bit more hair than you, that's all. And I can't. I'm sorry about that. I blame my mum for that. But yeah, I think the future of Stadia belongs to people that are very new to the whole concept of console gaming. Full stop. They might have a Wii stuffed away in the cupboard, and their kids might have a Switch, and they might, you know, and they may have gamed when they were younger, and that might be the thing that lures them back. But I don't think that they are going to fall into the same categories that I say we with a very small W because I've only been doing this for about a month and a half, but certainly the content creating community, it's a new sector for a lot of those people. So moving forward, what I'm keen to do is create shows, literally shows, and this is actually much more your territory, Clive, because I think that going hand in hand with the experience of dropping in and dropping out of gaming so that it fits into your kind of Netflix world is consuming content about Stadia and gaming in a format that you're familiar with as well. So I've got an idea for a game show which is semi-fleshed out. I think it's about halfway there, which I would live stream with maybe 4 or 5 other people, and an idea for live commentary that would be kind of an on-the-road experience. So I'd want to mix it with possibly travelling somewhere. Yeah, I can imagine you in Goa, Clive, in your flip-flops, mate. I think that absolutely sums you up a treat, I think. So an on-the-road kind of travel log type thing that mixes in the sort of content that I would be doing in any case for Stadia. So maybe, I don't know, driving up to Dartmoor and prattling on about game reviews or stuff. I don't know. I'm working on that. But I want these things to be kind of 30-minute slots that fit into a bunch of work. The problem there is the work piece, because currently I haven't got the time to even do Stadia Rokks. And so I'll need to see how it takes off, whether there's a market for it. And again, I don't necessarily mean commercial, because that is why currently it's not why I do this. And it's just the pure enjoyment of it, and it scratches an itch that I've always had. I've always loved kind of amateur dramatics and stuff, although I haven't done it since school. Don't worry, folk. I have a resurrector thing that brings me back to life, which every solo player absolutely needs. So yeah, I'm just enjoying the whole. Oh no, dag nabbit! See what happens when you get blasé. Don't worry, none. Yeah, so I'm just enjoying the whole community thing at the moment, actually, and that's amazing. It genuinely was unexpected. I wasn't even fully aware. I'd watched. Before I did all this stuff, I watched Clive regularly. Clive Ellenden, folk who's in the chat, and really you should subscribe to Clive because he is one bright cookie. And I watched Stadia Talk and I watched Stadia Cast, and that was kind of the only content that I was aware of. And that was really just while all of this was coming together, the whole Stadia thing. And I was just keen to, get a better idea. I'm my business is essentially, my entire business career has essentially been forecasting market changes in technology and catering for it. So I started the first web design agency in '95 in this part of the world, certainly one of the first in the country. Same thing with mobile app development. What else have we been first into? All sorts of stuff, really. And the sad thing is that I've always been at the cusp, but never been hugely successful with any of it. And that's, of course, a relative term, and other people would tell you that's not true, but it's kind of how I feel. So how do that compare? Well, that's pretty good, isn't it? It's got a higher level. Weapon damage is higher. Skill damage, the other one's got higher health. And health, for me, when I'm running solo, I tend to look at health a lot more than most things. But I think we'll switch on this one, because it's a little bit higher.
Electronic device detected.
So that's good. Yeah, so there you go, Stadia Rokks. So I'm going to hopefully start. Oh, I've ordered a new mic which comes tomorrow. So what I will do is probably have, through no choice other than having had no time, I will have to skip this week, because obviously tomorrow will be too late to get this week done. So next week, having skipped a week, will be episode 8, featuring a whole new person in Stars of Stadia. And I'm not saying anything more. Now, did that thing? Yes, it did. And I'm going to talk about the future of Stadia. I want to give that some thought, actually, because the last two in this series, the history of Stadia, have been really easy, because all I've had to do is remind myself of what happened, which we're all pretty much familiar with. And again, don't forget, a lot of my content is aimed at people that aren't that familiar with the whole scene. But the future is a slightly different thing, and I've got some thoughts on this anyway, and I've chatted about them on other people's shows. But I want to revisit my thoughts and kind of put them up against where we are, make sure they're still valid. So I don't want to rush that piece, which basically means, I think, that I doubt I'll get the podcast out until midweek, because I really want to concentrate on that and properly think it through. And the way I do all of my stuff, which is essentially how most people do non-live stuff, is I script it quite deeply. And I love to write anyway, and I write a lot of content through my business. So and I've written magazine articles, and I've had columns in magazines and stuff. So I like to write. So I spend a bit of time writing the script, quite a bit of time, and editing the script, and then I rehearse the damn thing, and then I audio record it, and then I edit the hell out of that, and only when I'm happy with that does it go live as a podcast. And then finally I work on the video, which takes an enormous amount of time, because as you've seen, everything, what a lot of, and to be fair to them, out of necessity, what a lot of content creators do is they just put up a 25-minute video of them playing a particular game, and it's watchable, it's fine. And to be fair, if you're going to do stuff on a daily basis, or 3-4 times a week, that's an absolute necessity. And certainly for Stadia Rokks, or for the other content, there's no way I can maintain this workflow. It's ridiculous, and it just doesn't work at the moment. So I'm going to persevere with it until I can come up with a better idea, and in the meantime, hopefully some other content and stuff which will give me some more time. Now then, what have I got? How many have I got here? I've got 2 to spend, and most of these now I've maxed, and those that I haven't, so I'm not fussed about increasing my stash, because I don't put stuff in the stash until it's max level anyway, so I'm not worried until I reach 30. Backpack, yeah, I'm kind of running out of backpack, but I need one more anyway, and I think that suggests I've got to be level 30. Some of this other stuff's quite useful if you're. I've kind of maxed this to what I'm not overly fussed about adding any more in, so I don't know. Let's add another one of those in, shall we? Why not? X. What up? I love all that stuff. Yeah, so I'm just chilling and testing and chewing, and I'm really blown away by the fact that there's a chunk of people that have turned up. That's so amazing. Thank you so much, guys. And I'm really just talking about my channel and my thoughts moving forward with the channel. I mean, these are tough times for everybody, aren't they? I mean, nobody's immune from where we are in the world, and it's difficult to plan. It's difficult to plan more than a few days, let alone a couple of months. So I know what I would like to do with my channel and the brand. And the thing is, with Rokk, it is a brand. I actually everything I do and have done for, crikey, I don't know, 20 years, I guess, has had the ROKK brand associated with it, commercially and privately. And in fact, I trademarked it some years ago, and I think I'm still valid, the trademark, as in ROKK. So you will always see me using that, and it's it's my kind of gaming moniker, and so yeah, and it's fairly unique. I mean, there are a couple of brands in the world that use it. There's an alcohol. I think it's a vodka or a gin in one of the Nordic countries that is ROKK, but that's fine because they're not into technology and streaming and content creation. But yeah, so the future's definitely Rokk, and the question mark is how much time I've got. That's the only thing really, and I've got so many ideas that I want to play with, and there's so many great people in the community that I want to work with and do stuff with, because I'm not greedy. So yeah, there will be more to come. Guys, I'm probably going to call it a day there because I am just wandering around aimlessly. This was really just a test, and I'm so pleased that that so many of you have come along and said hi. And if you want to see more of this, only maybe a bit more professionally done, let me know. And if I can create the ability to talk to myself, talk to you guys, and play at the same time, which I think is possible, but it's akin to learning to juggle. I definitely will, and I love doing it. And I game all the time anyway. If I've got some spare time, you usually find me in my little converted half a garage, my dad's cave, as the girls call it, my daughter's. Yeah, that's it. Thank you ever so much for watching. It's going to take me a second or three to find out how to close this down because I'm useless. But there we go. Take care, guys. Have a great weekend. Thank you very much, and hold fire on Stadia Rokks. I'll get the new show out to you midweek, hopefully. Cheers all. Have a good one.